welcome to Hindustan Times Shine HR Conclave Mumbai. I spoke to Mr. Ashutosh Telang, Executive Vice President and Global Head HR Marico. And here's what he has to say. Hi, Mr. Ashutosh.
Hello.
So my question to you is, does your organization take steps to ensure that diversity awareness percolates down to the level of employee? And in what ways?
We do. However, we do not look at it as something which is compliance driven, but we look at it more in terms of commitment. We look at diversity in various dimensions. So it is not typically diversity gets looked as only gender, but we look at that dimension as well. But there are various other dimensions. For example, today we operate in various international geographies. So for us, a talent dimension would also mean what kind of talent is across nationalities, across cultures. We also look at talent in terms of what are the unique strengths each one of the people bring in. So our business is in beauty and wellness. So in that segment, innovation plays a very key role.
Right.
So what is the talent that will bring in innovation? And we look at talent that will help us come with newer ideas. So diversity for us is not only in terms of people, but it also is in terms of ideas. So for that, we would like to look at multiple dimensions of diversity. And we believe that something like this can be driven not by creating policies, but more through the leaders, the frontline leaders, the top leaders. So there's a lot of work that we do in terms of creating an awareness, giving the requisite training to our leaders so that they can nurture talent and in a way nurture diversity.
Right. So what is your approach to enhance your own functions, that is the HR roles, in understanding of different aspects of diversity?
See, the idea here is it starts first with building an openness, okay? And then this entire core element which is very centric to our organization of mutual trust and respect. Because if you are open and you mutually trust and respect diversity, be it in terms of people, various nationalities, then the rest of the things follow.
Right.
Especially in HR, because you are the gatekeepers of talent to the organization. So when you're receiving talent, when you're selecting talent, if you are aware that diversity has a business case, and it helps you, and you do not let any biases affect you while you're selecting talent.
Right.
That helps first. Second is having inducted people into the organization, how are you actually helping the leaders nurture talent? That helps. Again, making the leaders more open to what is the uniqueness. So rather than always seeking conformance in terms of a certain type of people will only do so and so, to looking at aspects where, okay, a difference through a certain unique skill can actually add much more value.
Right.
And we seek that out, we encourage that. Frankly, it's a journey, so there's a lot to do in this area. So one can't say that we are there, because diversity, as one understands, is always evolving. And more and more ideas will come, more and more diversities will come.
Right. So according to you, have you had to handle situations where you have to deal with a conflict at work due to diversity issues?
If we look at conflicts, yes, conflict is an integral part of any organization, any work environment, and actually the newer conflicts lead to newer practices and in a way newer policies.
Right.
So taking a dimension of gender, many a time we have looked as how do you encourage working mothers as one of the diversity initiatives which has been talked about very much. But something which is new that is coming up is because many of our members, we call our employees as members, today are nuclear families. They don't have social support. So where you would look at a working mother, today the other dimension of diversity is there is also working fathers.
Right.
So that creates a conflict that if a woman member is getting a benefit, why am I not getting a benefit? So we would rather look at it again with a core value of flexibility and empowerment. We say, fine, so let's keep the gender aside. What is it that is needed to make the person's work meaningful, convenient? So how do we empower the person? How do we give flexibility to a person to make choices? So there's a conflict, but the conflict also gives you an opportunity to look at that conflict differently and come with a different solution.
Right. So we have talked about new issues which are there. So one of that is LGBT. So has the issue of LGBT cropped up at your organization, and what is your stance on that?
If I were to answer it, I haven't faced anything so far on that. However, what happens is when we look at talent or when we look at people on board, we look at it basis meritocracy. So we actually have right from the beginning, in a way, have been insulated against those dimensions. Because when we look at talent, we look at what is this person in terms of the skills, the knowledge, the attitude that person brings on board. That is much more of a paramount importance to us than the other most talked about dimensions of diversity. Because we value a person on the person's contribution in terms of the role, in terms of the business. And that has helped us in good stead. Yes, I believe there are certain newer laws that may come in and there are certain compliances that will follow. But our belief is that if the mindsets of the organization is of an openness, then such things actually through commitment are taken care of. So you really don't need a compliance forward approach. It's more in terms of building awareness and a commitment.
Right. Thank you so much for joining
My
us.
pleasure. Thank you.